Good evening. Is the battle for the top spot with the game that is coming up tonight between Gujarat Titans and Sunrisers Hyderabad. And the news from the Wankhede Stadium is that Gujarat Titans have won the toss and they have opted to field first. Surprise there, given that Hardik Pandya in the last game decided to bat first and change that trend, but he's gone back to chasing. This also is because at the toss he said that it's a fresh wicket and he thinks that there might be something in it for the bowlers. Gujarat Titans have gone in with the same playing 11 from the last game, so no changes there for them. For the Sunrisers Hyderabad, good news for all the Washington Sundar fans. He's in. Remember, he had missed 3 matches due to a hand injury. He's back in for J. Suchit. Nikhil, this is good and it brings the balance to the side that was slightly missing given what Washington Sundar had been doing before he got injured.
Absolutely. You know, Washington Sundar is he is the best spinner SRH has in the unit. And given it is a, side packed with quality fast bowlers, he gives them variety. He also gives them an option to bowl him in the power play, which he did before he got injured. Also, he was striking the ball really well in the lower middle order at above 200 before the injury.
Let's take a look at the Sunrisers Hyderabad's playing 11 now. Like I said, just one change there. Washington Sundar coming in for J. Suchit. But how good has this team been? Constantly punching above their weight. Started the tournament slowly, Nikhil, having lost 2 games. But then from there on, they won 5 games on the trot. Can they make it 6? They would be hoping they could, because they've already beaten this opposition in the tournament. Gujarat Titans have been beaten by only one team, and that is Sunrisers Hyderabad. But Sunrisers Hyderabad have only won 1 out of 5 matches here at the Wankhede Stadium.
Absolutely.
So interesting numbers there. So the bowling, how good has that been? Marco Jansen, how impressive was he in the last game? And then T. Natarajan, the standout bowler, not just for Sunrisers Hyderabad, but in the tournament.
Absolutely. See, no world-class batsmen, but batsmen who've all, maximized their potential, and that has been the success for SRH with a high-quality fast bowling unit. T. Natarajan, by far the best fast bowler of the tournament, not only of this side. The best fast bowler of the tournament, 15 wickets in 7 matches, most wickets in the power play for any bowler, 3rd highest wickets in the death for any bowler in the IPL. Absolutely brilliant with his Yorkers, variations in the death. T. Natarajan is back not only for SRH but strong contention for India. Umran Malik started off, conceding a lot of runs, but showed in the last match with his 4-wicket haul that he's someone to be reckoned with, and SRH saw something in him, and that is why they retained him. Bhuvneshwar Kumar, 9 wickets, 7 matches, quietly but effectively he's done the job for them. And Washington Sundar coming back adds that balance to the team. So overall, I still think batting is the weakness, but Abhishek Sharma, again, someone who they, invested in, and they were questioned that why are you investing in Abhishek Sharma? He hasn't done much in the previous seasons. The highest scorer with 220 runs. Rahul Tripathi, unsung hero for KKR, again an unsung hero this year, striking at 175. So, SRH have punched well above their weight and surprised everyone. I think now, in the matches to come, players like Kane Williamson and Nicholas Pooran will have to, score runs. Otherwise, there's going to be a problem for the team.
Yes, okay, so that is Sunrisers Hyderabad. But let's also take a look at Gujarat Titans playing 11. Like we said, no changes there for this team. And why should they change what has been a fantastic, a successful combination for them? Hardik Pandya leading from the front. And interestingly, one thing that people were worried about, given that he sat out due to a groin injury, whether he would be able to bowl. He hadn't bowled in the last 2 matches that GT played. But at the toss, Hardik Pandya clarifying that they have 7 bowling options, and in case if the team needs him, then he will bowl. So that's good news really for Gujarat Titans. But again, Nikhil, it's in this particular match is about the bowling attacks of these 2 teams. Again, you look at this team, when it comes to the batting, Shubman Gill and Hardik Pandya, and they've been the one who the team have depended on. David Miller playing one fine knock, but otherwise, you do see that in case Hardik Pandya and Shubman Gill do not get the runs, who will who will first of all play the anchor role, and who will hold the innings together. That's one major question. And when it comes to their bowling, simply superb in the power play. Mohammad Shami and Lockie Ferguson, they are a force to reckon with in the power plays.
Absolutely. See, similar to SRH, although their batting has a little more spark than SRH does. Hardik Pandya, even Shubman Gill, batting like an aggressor this season, unlike the anchor role used to play for KKR, David Miller. They have more spark than the SRH batting unit. Also, they have a high quality leg spinner, which SRH doesn't, Rashid Khan. That makes a difference. I think the fast bowling is comparable. Lockie Ferguson and Shami might be the best fast bowling pair in the tournament. Maybe RR's Trent Bolt and Prasidh Krishna are comparable. But Shami has been brilliant in the power play. He's taken, majority of his wickets have come in the first 6 overs. Lockie Ferguson has bowled with pace. He's also taken 6 wickets in the power play at a very decent economy rate. So overall, they have an excellent team, excellent bowling unit, and I think therefore in this match, the team which bats better may just win the contest.
Absolutely, the team that bats better will win this contest, because the bowling side has been superb. Now, what has been Gujarat Titans' success story so far? And it has really been a team that has stood out. Not many would have given them a chance, playing their first IPL, trying to get a team together, trying to figure out roles for each and every player in the side. They've done that wonderfully and have been executing their plans as well. 6 wins and 1 loss in 7 matches. Hardik Pandya, the standout performer for them, 295 runs, 350s, economy of 4.66. David Miller, has put his hand up whenever the team has needed him. 220 runs, strike rate of 157, and Shubman Gill as well. You would want more runs from Shubman Gill, but right now, I guess because the team's winning, that's not something that stands out. But Shubman Gill, 207 runs at a strike rate of 151. Story of the season, Gujarat Titans. Nikhil, even for the Sunrisers Hyderabad, if Gujarat Titans have a success story, Sunrisers Hyderabad have their own success story to tell.
Absolutely. Both these teams didn't have a great auction. Let's be frank about it. They didn't have a great auction, and they were not expected to be in the top half. But both of them have maximized their resources. We've spoken about this. They had limited resources, and they have maximized their resources. SRH case, and it's very true for SRH, because they don't have world-class players, but their 70-80% type of players are performing to 70-80% in every match. As far as GT, is slightly different case. They have 2 or 3 world-class players, like Shubman Gill is a world-class batsman, Hardik Pandya, David Miller, and one of them or 2 out of 3 are raising their hand in every match, performing in every match. So it's a very interesting, success
in fact,
story for both teams.
they can put those numbers up for Sunrisers Hyderabad as well, how they're punching above their weight, and you'd see they won 5 matches on the trot, and the difference it must have made to their confidence, Nikhil, as well. Net run rate of 0.0691, second highest in the tournament. Rahul Tripathi, Abhishek Sharma, like you said, just punching above their weight, and on top of that, their best bowling average and economy in the tournament.
Absolutely.
It is.
Bowling by far, is their strength. The best bowling average and economy rate tells the story itself. But Abhishek Sharma being the highest scorer, this no one expected. Abhishek Sharma has been a revolution on top of the order. Also, Rahul Tripathi has taken his batting, up 2 gears. He's striking at 175. That is the strike rate of a lower order batsman. It's not the strike rate of someone who bats in the top 3. So Rahul Tripathi has been absolutely brilliant. He's only failed in 1 match when he's not scored big runs. He scored those 30s and 40s at a high strike rate. So a lot of credit should be given to Rahul Tripathi also for SRHR.
Okay, now for all of you who are joining us now, the news from the Wankhede Stadium is that Gujarat Titans have won the toss and they have opted to field first. That's right. That's the news. Also, Gujarat Titans go in with an unchanged playing 11. So the same team from the last game. They've gone in with the same team. For the Sunrisers Hyderabad, there is just one change. Washington Sundar has come back for J. Suchit. So that's the one change. Washington Sundar had missed 3 matches due to a hand injury. he's back in place of Jay Suchit. Though I also feel, Nikhil, that Sunrisers Hyderabad would be buoyed by how they played against Royal Challengers Bangalore. There's one thing defeating an opponent, but to get them out for 68 and then win by 9 wickets, that would have given them tremendous amount of confidence.
Absolutely. And that is the quality of the high-class fast bowling unit of the SRH team. They can decimate batting units like the RCB for 68. Of course, it also do with RCB's hot and cold batting arsenal. But a lot of credit has to be given to the variety in SRH's pace bowling unit. It is by far the most effective and the best in the tournament. And because of that win also, Meha, the net run rate, which is second highest in the tournament, is going to be very crucial, because I see a lot of teams fighting for the number 3 and 4 spot when the playoff the playoffs, and I think SRH is going to be one of those teams.
Okay, the other thing being, before we go any further, the most important news that you guys have to listen to. This news is just breaking at the moment. News9 Sports, which is going to come right at the bottom of your screens. That's what you need to subscribe to get the latest from the world of sports. We've got interviews, analysis, updates, everything on News9 Sports and News9 Digital. You can go there. You can also put in your comments if you're watching us right now as to which is the team that you're supporting, who do you think will score the maximum runs today, and who will be the bowler who will get maximum number of wickets. So the teams that you're supporting, you can put in your comments there, and I will take these comments online as well on the show. Nikhil and I, if you have any questions for us, do let us know. Okay, now then, moving on, we've been talking about how this is a clash of two bowling units. Let's take a look at how potent these two bowling units have been. Let's start with Gujarat Titans, Nikhil, just to see how well they have bowled in the tournament. Most wickets in the power play, and all 4 of them, Shami, Ferguson, Rashid, Hardik, all bowling beautifully.
Yeah, I mean, they've covered all bases. So, the power play bowling, most wickets, which means, right in the beginning, Shami and Ferguson are putting the opposition on the back foot. Shami, 10 wickets, an economy of 7.216 in the power play. Ferguson, 6 of 9 wickets in the power play. Rashid controlling the middle overs, again not conceding any runs. Hardik was brilliant in the power play before the injury, and he hasn't bowled for a couple of matches. He conceded only at 4.66 in the first 6 overs. So all bases covered. Gujarat Titans have been absolutely brilliant. The second best economy and average after SRH in the tournament.
Okay, then let's take a look at Sunrisers Hyderabad and how well they have bowled. Their bowling unit has been phenomenal. Most wickets at the death. So if GT had most wickets in the power plays, Sunrisers Hyderabad have most wickets at death. Natarajan, the standout bowler for them, 15 wickets, most in power play. He's also got 6 wickets in the death overs. He's doing everything that is asked of him.
Absolutely. Most wickets in the power play, 3rd highest in the death overs, 15 wickets in 7 matches, 2nd highest wicket taker after Chahal. He's also bowling, I've noticed, his average speed is much quicker than it was last year. I think, and he's bowling a lot of Yorkers. He's mixing it up in the death overs, a lot of slower ones. So, T. Natarajan, I think, is not only the best fast bowler of the tournament so far. I think with this performance, he also is making, a claim to be India's premier left armer when they go to Australia.
That's right. Okay, now the X Factor players. Who are the players who can change the match around? Let's start with who else but David Miller. First, he's already done it in one match, just completely turned that match, but 220 runs in 7 innings so far, Nikhil, in tremendous form for South Africa, for India this season specifically, striking the ball well. And when that's the saying that he says that when it's in the arc, it's out of the park.
Yeah, absolutely.
When it's in the V, it's on the tree.
Absolutely. And that is David Miller's philosophy. His death strike rate in his IPL career is 181. He's striking the ball big this season.
Yeah.
He wasn't a very consistent player. He had a few good seasons for Punjab, but he wasn't a very consistent player. And he lost his touch in the last couple of seasons. But he's back. He's back this year. He's playing to his strength. He strikes the ball, really well over the mid-wicket cow corner area, and that innings of 94, we saw a lot of shots in that area. So David Miller, if he can produce that sort of innings once in every 4 matches, 3 of those innings in this tournament, and he's done his job.
That's right. And then Nicholas Pooran is the other X-Factor player. He hasn't fired in this tournament in the way that he's done in the past, Nikhil. But the one stat that stands out that you can tell us about.
Yeah, it's the middle overs strike rate in his IPL career. It's touching 155. It's the 5th best for any batsman in the middle overs. After players like Virendra Sehwag, Chris Gayle, Shane Watson, so players of that caliber, which shows that Nicholas Pooran is a game changer batting in the middle order. He does not come and consolidate. He comes in and takes the attack to the opposition bowlers. Even if he doesn't score 70, 80, 90,
True.
that 40 of 25 balls will change the momentum of the match, and that is what that strike rate shows. Overall, he hasn't done well in this tournament, but his potential, and given what he's done before in this tournament and in the CPL and for the West Indies, he is our X-Factor player.
Okay, then after the 2 X-Factor players, the key battles that we are looking forward to. Before that, if you have any comments, the teams that you're supporting, who are you supporting today? Do you think Shubman Gill is going to get runs? Let us know in the comment section below. And let's get to the key battles then, Nikhil. The one key battle, Mohammad Shami versus Kane Williamson, 10 innings has been dismissed 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, this battle has clearly been, won by Mohammad Shami. 10 innings, 4 times. Strike rate irrelevant if you're, in 47 balls, if you dismiss the batsman 4 times, that means your strike rate is 12. So this battle is clearly a battle won by Mohammad Shami. And, Mohammad Shami is in form. Kane Williamson hasn't been in the best of forms. He's playing the role of the anchor. I think this is going to be an interesting battle in the power play. I think Shami has the upper hand.
Okay, so that's one battle. Then in the power play, the next battle is between Shubman Gill and Bhuvneshwar Kumar. This is again, Bhuvneshwar Kumar has had the better of Shubman Gill, 37 balls, 32 runs, strike rates dropped to 86 and has been dismissed twice.
Absolute, and this battle is between 2 in-form players, which makes it more interesting. Bhuvneshwar has taken 9 wickets in 7 matches in this tournament. Gill has scored 2 absolutely delightful, 50s, match-winning 50s, where he was the highest impact batsman. So, this is going to be a battle between 2 in-form players, a battle historically dominated by Bhuvneshwar. So, therefore, it's going to be interesting in the power play whether Gill takes the attack to Bhuvneshwar or is circumspect against him.
Okay, the other one in the middle overs is another one that we'll be watching out for. Rahul Tripathi versus Rashid Khan, Nikhil. 5 innings, 26 balls, 35 runs, strike rate of 135, and has been dismissed once, not twice.
Yeah, I mean, Tripathi is striking at 175 in this tournament, but Rashid is conceding at 6.5 in this tournament. 6.5 means basically, if you convert into a batting strike rate, at 130. So, this promises to be a very interesting battle because Tripathi seems to be the only batsman who can take on Rashid. And therefore, it could be Tripathi's strike rate against leg spinners in this tournament is 196.
Yeah.
So that's therefore whether Tripathi takes on Rashid or not is going to be a very defining phase of play between overs 7 and 16.
Okay, and then in the death overs, T. Natarajan versus David Miller.
T. Natarajan versus David Miller is interesting. They obviously don't have a head-to-head record. They haven't played in the IPL as such.
Yeah.
But T. Natarajan is the bowler of the tournament. And David Miller, if he bowls over the wicket, the ball will come into David Miller in his arc with that angle. So, he can basically play his favourite shot over the mid-wicket area. Therefore, this battle is very interesting between 2 in-form players, Natarajan in the form of his life and David Miller also striking the ball well.
Now, for all of you who are joining us right now, the news from the Wankhede Stadium is that Gujarat Titans, they have won the toss. They have opted to field first. Hardik Pandya at the toss said that it was a fresh wicket and he didn't know what to expect, so decided to field first. Also thinks there'll be something in it for the bowlers. So Gujarat Titans have gone in with the same 11 from the last game. There's one change for Sunrisers Hyderabad, which is that Washington Sundar has come in place of Jace Suchit. Washington Sundar had been out for 3 games but is back after recovering from a hand injury. So that's the news from the Wankhede Stadium. Now, the other thing about the Wankhede Stadium is what can we expect? How has the season been? What are the matches that have been played here and who's won them? So the trend has reversed in the second half of this tournament so far. And one is that the first 4 matches, teams chasing have won. But after that, Nikhil, it is completely changed. And I can understand the conundrum that the captain who wins the toss faces, because last 5 matches have been won by the team batting first, but it is also a fresh wicket.
It's also a fresh wicket, and also with that stat that batting first is now an advantage here, is the change of score, the average change of score batting first. So in the first 5 matches, it was 152 when the team chasing won, but in the last 4 matches, it is 192 when the team batting first has won, which clearly means that team batting first, have upped their game and are now defending well. Spinners are coming into play more and more as the wickets are drying up, conditions are becoming hotter, and therefore, according to me at least, chasing batting first was an advantage. Little surprised Hardik Pandya didn't do it, but I understand it's a fresh wicket, and that was the reason. Also, maybe because Sunrisers Hyderabad have a very potent bowling unit and they defend very well. So Hardik may want to I think decided to take the advantage away from them, their strength away from them, and therefore he decided to chase first.
Now, Hardik Pandya at the toss also says something about his own bowling. Again, Hardik Pandya he sat out from one match because of an injury, came back and hasn't bowled since. So people were wondering whether he is really okay and whether he can get back to bowling. So he's clarified, saying that there are already 7 bowling options, and if they do need him, he will be able to bowl. So that's good news for all the Gujarat Titans and Hardik Pandya fans. So that's for Gujarat Titans, but can Gujarat Titans go right to the top of the points table? That's the big question. First of all, the fact that Gujarat Titans and Sunrisers Hyderabad are in the top 3, and they've been consistently in the last week or so, you understand how unpredictable IPL is. Now, Gujarat Titans, if they win today, they go right at the top with 14 points. And if Sunrisers Hyderabad with a better net run rate would also then go right at the top. So it is really the battle of who will be at the top. But Nikhil, this is interesting because both Sunrisers Hyderabad and Gujarat Titans, we've talked about them, about how both teams somewhat have punched, well, especially for Sunrisers Hyderabad, they've punched above their weight. Nobody would have given them that, would have said that, okay, these guys can get to the top, and they've done it. And to constantly win, and then the way they won, 2 matches, they won by 7 wickets, 2 by 8 wickets, 1 match by 9 wickets. It's incredible.
It's absolutely incredible, and kudos to their bowling attacks. But I now feel, especially for SRH, if they have to maintain this winning run, win more than lose, the batting unit has to contribute more. Otherwise, they could see what happened to KKR. After a great start, they've just went, it's a downward spiral for them. It could very well happen for SRH. The batsmen need to contribute more. The bowlers can't, defend totals of 150, 160 in every match. So the batsmen need to defend, batsmen need to score runs. Also, it's interesting, these 2 teams will actually, now want to push for a top 2 finish also, because that gives them a cushion in the playoffs.
That's right. So take a look at that points table, the second half of the points table. Mumbai and Chennai, no respite there for them, have been losing everything. Chennai have just won 2 games. And for Mumbai Indians, haven't really got any points, been struggling 8 matches on the trot. Things don't seem to be looking good for them. But for Gujarat Titans, everything seems to have worked out. The other thing, Nikhil, being that maybe we should take them through the Fantasy 11 and tell them what our Fantasy 11 is. We've somehow agreed to it. We normally don't, but today we have. So take a look at the Fantasy 11. And when Hardik Pandya is playing, you've got to keep him as the captain. So Hardik Pandya, the captain of our Fantasy 11, and just he's been doing everything right.
Yeah, I mean, he's for me the best all-rounder in the tournament so far, even though he's not bowling now. The job he did opening the bowling, very restrictive. The runs he scored, played an anchor role, played the aggressor role, scored tons of runs for them. Excellent captain. innovative. So therefore, by far, the highest impact player of the tournament.
Okay, so this is the breaking news then. Williamson and Abhishek Sharma, they're opening the innings for Sunrisers Hyderabad. A little late with the fantasy 11, so let's go straight into the innings then. Like I said, Gujarat Titans won the toss, opted to bowl first, and Mohammad Shami with the first over with the new ball. How good has Mohammad Shami been?
Absolutely brilliant. 6 wickets in the power play, 10 wickets overall, not even conceding 7.5 despite bowling in the power play. Mohammad Shami, I think, should share the new ball with Jasprit Bumrah for India in the World T20.
So Mohammad Shami with the ball, Abhishek Sharma and Kane Williamson. And also, as we get to the business end of the tournament, Nikhil, it'll get important for both these teams to bat consistently. Their bowling has done the job so far for them. Batting has been good, but more consistency needed from both teams.
Absolutely, especially from SRH. SRH need, some of their batsmen, especially batsmen like Nicholas Pooran, to start scoring now. They need to score in the 170s and 180s, and then with that lineup they can defend. You cannot score 140, 150, 160. They need a little more from Williamson. They need a little more from Pooran.
That's right. They need more from Kane Williamson. They need more from Nicholas Pooran. But it's the same with Gujarat Titans as well. They've depended on Shubman Gill, who's given them runs, as well as Hardik Pandya, who's been very consistent with the bat. But what about the others? When these two are not able to score, does Gujarat Titan have the batting then to take them through? That's the big question.
Absolutely. I don't think they have the batting to take them through. And therefore, the contributions of Shubman Gill, Hardik Pandya and Miller are extremely, extremely crucial. And 2 out of those 3 have to click in almost every match. Otherwise there's going to be a problem. The bowling cannot, win you matches if you don't score, the par target on the venue.
Okay, so News9 Sports is what you need to subscribe to if you want to get the latest from the world of sports. That's it then from Nikhil and me. Goodbye. Thanks for watching.